Is Indian single malt whiskey worth trying? Absolutely. Keep watching on Let's Talk Drinks. Hi guys, so today I'm going to do a review on an Indian whiskey. Before I get into it, I just want to send a special shout out to my Indian friends and viewers. We're in crazy times now with COVID. You guys are hit extremely hard. Special love, hope you're all safe out there and hope you get through this. Just makes you want to drink more whiskey, doesn't it? So yeah, look, we're really thinking of you from Australia, and I'm pretty sure from everywhere else around the world. Now on a happier note, I'm going to talk about Rampur. Rampur is an Indian single malt whiskey. It is non-chill filtered. This is called the Vintage Select Cask. We've had this at 18th Amendment Bar for a while, and as you can see, it's extremely popular, and there's a reason for that. It is very unique in its flavour. It is created or made by one of the oldest distilleries in India. They've been making whiskies since about 1943. However, normally they've been making a lot of blended whiskey, not so much single malt until only, in the last decade or so. The name Rampur is actually named after a city, and that city I think is part of Uttar Pradesh. I'm sorry for our Indian viewers if I'm not pronouncing that properly. But what I love about this whiskey is they use Scottish production methods. It is at 43% ABV, as said before, non-chill filtered, and they use purely Indian 6-row barley. And it's that Indian 6-row barley which makes this very different flavour and complexity in this single malt whiskey, which I'll talk about soon. It has no age statement on the bottle. It is aged in ex-bourbon barrels, but you have to remember at the foothills of the Himalayas, it's pretty warm in India, so they don't need an age statement. So for those guys will just keep aging it until they know it is perfect, and then they'll be able to bottle it. As you can imagine, there would be a lot of angel share in India. That expansion and contraction of the barrel, a lot of that whiskey sort of goes through the wood of the barrel, goes up to the heavens for the angels to drink, and I think they have something like a 20% angel share, which is huge. So let's have a look at it. The first thing that I notice is it's a really nice amber colour. Now it is cold here in Geelong. I think it's something like 6 degrees or 8 degrees Celsius outside. And as you probably can't see it on the video, but when I look at this bottle, it is very cloudy. The glass is cold, obviously, because we haven't had the heaters on here at 18th. But when I sort of look through that bottle, I'm seeing like little sort of specks of particles or something, and a little bit cloudy. For someone that didn't know much about whiskey, I would be sort of thinking, oh, that kind of doesn't look right. But for me, cloudiness and these little specks equal deliciousness. It's called flock. Okay, what it is it's the fatty acids from the barley that is in that whiskey, and that's what they haven't chill filtered with. They haven't removed that. By removing that, what it does is it removes flavour, because any form of oiliness on your palate holds flavour in your mouth, if that makes sense. And I'm really glad that that's not unchill filtered, because a lot of the brands nowadays are starting to head that way. It's very common in American whiskey, but I think it's great to have unchill filtered whiskies in single malts. Enough talking, let's pour some in there. Sort of have a look and see how the legs are. See, they're really long legs. What I'm talking about long legs is that liquid, as it goes around the inside of this glass, is sort of taking a while to run down. It's kind of like an oily coating, and that's a really good sign. And even looking at it, for me, it still is not crystal clear. It's got a little bit of that kind of murkiness to it. On the nose, weird in a really good way. I've tried a few of the other Indian single malt whiskies, and Rampur has this distinctive nose for me that is rosewood, Turkish delight, something that I really haven't got in any other whiskey, and I've tried a lot of whiskies, but automatically, lychee even. A little bit of that biscuity maltiness coming through from the barley, but it's almost in a way tropical perfume not being sexist, but it could even be sort of slightly a more feminine sort of a nose. And not saying anything absolutely sexist, because we have plenty of women whiskey drinkers and their palates are amazing, but it's more on that sort of female-y perfume sort of smell, if that makes sense. Yeah, wow. Okay, let's give it a try. Very smooth, no burn there whatsoever. Definitely getting that malt. So there's a lot of malt there, that sort of backbone of maltiness. Unpeated, there is no smoke in there whatsoever. However, that after finish that I'm getting right now, that aftertaste, is once again rosewood. It reminds me of a rosewood incense that I used to burn many, many years ago. Lychee, floral, if anything, a little bit sweet in a good way. It just keeps evolving. Jasmine, honeysuckle. It's weird because these aren't normally things that I will come into my mind when I'm drinking a whiskey. And that's what I love about this whiskey. It is really unique. I've used this in a few of our online masterclasses during COVID when we had lockdowns, and the feedback from our customers was just like amazing. They were freaked out by it, at how different it is. It's almost like it's not even a single malt. And once again, this is a good thing that I'm saying. You know, it definitely is a single malt, but I probably haven't tried or tasted a whiskey that is this floral. Once again, Turkish delight, but when you go to a really good Turkish restaurant and they make it properly and not the stuff that they buy in boxes, it is really good. As far as that finish, yes, there's a little bit of oiliness there, absolutely. It's long, that flavour's still sort of going there. I'm getting a little bit of bitterness towards the end. And that bitterness is just drying off a little bit, which is fantastic as well, because it's not just leaving that sort of rosy, Turkish delight, florally jasmine flavour that's in my mouth. It just really sort of medium finish, ends off, get a little bit of that bitterness, then a little bit of the heat and a touch of spice as well. I would absolutely go out and try this. I don't know what a bottle's worth here in Australia. I think it's looking at around that $100 mark. For something absolutely different, I would go out and buy a bottle. If not, head into a bar that has it. Give it a try first. You know, it mightn't be your cup of tea. However, for me, it's fantastic on a back bar, that if you have friends around or if you're in a venue that you want to actually get that whiskey drinker and take them out of their comfort zone to try something absolutely different that's delicious, this is the one for you, Rampur. Guys, if you like my reviews, please like, subscribe. There's a bunch of them on there. There's more to come. Let me know. Is there something that you want me to review? Is there another whiskey that is very different? We've got a bottle up here on the back bar. It is a Swiss Mountain whiskey. It's a bottle that I bought up in, where was it? Austria, in Jungfrau, at the top of the Swiss mountains, I think it was. Sorry, not Austria, in Switzerland. And it is a very mushroomy, earthy type of flavoured whiskey. This is totally different to that, but just another really weird and wonderful type of whiskey. Let me know if there's any there that you've tried. If I can buy a bottle here in Australia, I definitely will, and do a review. Guys, please like, subscribe. See you again soon on Let's Talk Drinks.